Hello, my friends, everyone out there in Facebook land. This is Lynn Sanders welcoming you to a new version of the Difference Makers program, and I am so glad you're here. Please feel free to share your thoughts and comments on this program because we have a very exciting guest, and her name is Anna Giannone, coming to us live from Montreal, Canada. And Anna, you want to say hello to everyone here?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening in. This is a great pleasure for me to help millions and millions of families out there to co-parent in harmony. It's my passion.
Yes, let me give you a little bit of Anna's credits as we start. Anna is a new friend of mine who I met on the internet and felt an immediate connection to. She's got a warm, loving energy that I think you're going to pick up. I know you will right away. She is the author of an Amazon best-selling book called Co-Parenting in Harmony, The Art of Putting Your Child's Soul First. She's also a co-parenting coach, a certified master coach practitioner, a certified facilitator, and certified parent educator, and even more than that, she's a Huffington Post contributor. Lots of great credits. And Anna, I just wanted to say, really excited, this is a topic that I actually had never really thought about much until I read some of your writing. And I thought, wow, there are actually people who can teach others how to co-parent in harmony. So I wondered if you would be kind of to share, how did you even come up with this topic? What is your story in learning about co-parenting in harmony?
Well, first, I grew up, I'm a divorced child. I grew up in a family that co-parenting in harmony did not exist at all. It was chaotic. The communication, the verbal communication was, let's say the environment was not harmony at all. So I grew up with that. And I grew up with the conflict of loyalty. Which parent should I love better or not? Because I was brought to court at 16 years old to testify in front of the judge who my kid brother should have, which parent should have legal custody of my kid brother. So can you imagine the responsibility that, a 16-year-old child who was already going to a transition in her teens also had to take this responsibility on my shoulders. And so I grew up with that. And then after I met I believe in life, everything happens for a reason. There's no coincidence in life. And so I met my husband. I was guided to meet my husband, and he came with a child, and he had also an ex. So I've got involved into this family, this beautiful blended family, you could say. And at the beginning, it was quite I had to learn a lot. I had to learn how to co-parent. I had to learn how to become a stepmom and all that. And then by moving on in my life, I realized there's so many people around me who's been getting divorced and who are living chaotic situations, and the kids that are stuck in the middle of this, and the kids are suffering, and also the parents are suffering as well. And so and I just got this beautiful insight to, I've been taking a course how to become a facilitator. And I was on the phone with my bonus son's mom, and I was talking to her about this course that I was passionate about. And I got the insight from up above that this is what I should do. I should tell my story to the world and teach and help parents and children to co-parent in harmony, because it's a must. It's a must.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. You make it sound really easy. You just figured out that this is something that you wanted to do. Didn't you have to deal with, I would imagine, some anger issues from perhaps, from your husband's ex-wife, or even just getting into a blended family like this? How was that for you?
Yes, obviously. I mean, even on his side, there's bitterness, there's resentment, there's anger. But, I finally realized by educating myself and reading that if there's still bitterness and anger still involved within, it's because something needs to change. Something needs to change.
Right.
And whatever we have within, we got to learn to deal with it, because don't forget, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're also hurting your new partner, your children, everyone around you. So if you still feel this way, then you know there's something that needs to change to make things better for yourself so you can move on in your life, and for your children so they can thrive as beautiful in their childhood and as beautiful adults, so they can live on a beautiful life with their partners and their family as well, because this goes on from generation to generation.
It's true. It's very true. So what are some of the tips? Would you hold up your book for everyone to see this? This is a beautiful book. Co-Parenting in Harmony and the Art of Putting Your Child's Soul First. I love how you added the spiritual element of soul. So talk to me a little bit about the tips in this book. I won't go into a lot of depth about my own situation. I am happily married and have children, but I have family members who suffer from this pain of not having been able to co-parent in harmony. What are some of the tips that you offer, parents in your book?
Well, the first thing that I had to learn throughout this whole process, my husband and I, and everyone else in the mix, is that we had to learn to focus on the child's needs only, not focus on the ex, what she said or he said or what he did or what she did. It's to focus on the child's needs. The goal here is to be in the present moment. It's to be mindful. Okay,
right.
What's happening today? Okay, how's the child doing today? Everything is fulfilled as regards to school, health, emotionally, physically. It's all about that. So I always say, focus on what's going on in today. Like, control your emotions, control your anger. You can change that attitude. I mean, you control your brain and not the brain controls you.
Exactly. Even that, I want you to repeat what you just said. That can be a revelation. Let's just take it real slowly here. Because I remember once someone said that to me, they said, you control your feelings. They don't control you. And that really stopped me, because I think so many people think that some outside force is controlling their feelings. So would you repeat what you just said?
So what I've learned and what I know today and what I tell my clients is you control the brain and not the brain controls you. You control your emotions and not the emotions control you. You are the one who, nobody can make you feel inferior whatsoever unless you give them permission to make you feel inferior, to make you feel less than anything. You have control of that. And so that helped me.
Yeah. So when you say you give them permission to make you feel inferior, how do you recommend people stand up for themselves in a positive way so that they don't feel inferior?
So my other tip is about criticism, is about criticizing. I mean, we're also, we all criticize so easily. Eh? So it's only normal that we're going to criticize an ex-partner, your ex-spouse or the parent. So, withhold your comments with that. Withhold your criticism. Don't take things personally. I mean, he or she's entitled to his opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. Well, we got to come back, focus on what truly matters. So the criticism, don't take things personally. Don't work up yourself. Like example, I'll give you a really, really simple example. You have shared custody, 50-50. Your child comes back to you and his clothes are dirty. Then you're going to start criticizing. Well, look at that. He or she should have washed his clothes before he came to my house. Blah, blah. Why? Why make it a big fuss? Just look at your child. Say, oh, beautiful child. Okay, you know what? Your clothes are dirty. Tonight, mommy or daddy's going to wash your clothes. I have a new set of clothes for you. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
I love your passion, because you are so right. You're getting to the heart of the matter. Let's move on. I was speaking to you before the program about the point of the world being so topsy-turvy right now, and that we can't always control outside elements, but we can control ourselves. And that means to have peace starts within ourselves first, having peace within our families. So what you just mentioned is so important, not to criticize. And I'm sure that it just comes out maybe easily for people, right? So we have to be self-conscious conscious of how we speak. What are some other tips?
Love yourself. Yeah. Well, the other tip that I have that I know it's very difficult for a parent, especially if they dislike their ex-spouse, is respect. We have to respect each other no matter what. Just remember, I always bring them back to this. Just remember the day they were born, you had that precious child in your arms. And what was the
Mm,
first thing that you both said to each other? We're going to protect you no matter what. So
right.
why should that change? I mean, you're no more intimate partners. You're no more spouses. Yes, yes, I understand that. And I feel that for you. But you're still parents. You're still parents of this beautiful child that you said that you will
Yes.
protect for the rest of your life. You're still there you're still parents that need to stay involved in your child's life and to raise them together as parents, no more as a spouse partner, but you're still parent partners to raise yourself. So
Right.
respect each other, even though you can't stand them, even though you can't even smell them or even look at them anymore, but at least in front of your child. Because what are you conveying to your child? What are you teaching your
So
child?
important. Exactly. You are supposed to be the role model,
You're
right?
the
You're not
role
supposed to be the
model.
child.
Yes. So teach them what respect is about so they can convey that, or they will model that in their work environment, at school, with their spouses, with their children. So it's our role, it's our responsibility as parents to teach them respect. So at least
Yes.
what we can
Yes.
do is show respect towards the other parent.
Oh, it's so true. You know, if you think about it, and I'm sure you have, the family is really like the symbolic microcosm of our whole world. So if we're going to
Exactly.
be disrespectful to our own family, how can then we be respectful to other people?
So
How
what
can
I,
we,
yeah.
right, to our colleagues, anyone?
So what I
So,
tell my clients is the tone of voice, the tone of
mhm,
voice that you use, the facial expression, be courteous, be polite, use the the business-like tone, start a business-like relationship. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I will think about it and move on.
right, right. That's so, I can see this, and I don't know if you've thought about this, is doing an audio tape with your book that
I,
people could just listen to in the car, because so much of what we do in our lives is basically built on our programming, our brain.
exactly.
Do you touch on that in your book
Uh,
about how we are programmed to act certain ways?
Well, patterns. Yes, it's about
Yes,
patterns. It's all about patterns. What we live through our childhood and what we believe, our limited beliefs, our limiting beliefs. And what we do is
right,
we carry them on from, like I said earlier, from generation to generation. We got to break that pattern. I saw my parents quarreling all the time. I saw them arguing all the time. No, I didn't. I started like that with my relationship and I didn't want that in my life. I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't come to this earth to live in a
right,
chaotic environment. I came to thrive in my life. Lynn, our purpose in life, each one of us responsibility is to become that better person. That is our
right,
purpose in life, is to
right.
become that better person, that better version of oneself, so we can help others also to thrive and become their better persons of themselves as well.
Oh, I love it. That's why you put the word soul in your book, didn't
That's
you?
why it's all about that. Yeah, it's all
All
about
about that. That's how when I first just even read your writing, I could feel your soul. People are, I think, maybe not always aware that we have soul connections with people, lots of people, and like you mentioned, to treat other people well, even if you have a divorce with someone, there was a reason you connected at one point. At one
exactly.
point, so if you can be respectful, as you said, then you can help pass it on to your children, to the next generation.
Because we
Tell me
are the
about
role
your
models.
Yes, yes. Now you told me just a few minutes ago also that you have a second book coming out. Can you share with
Yes.
everyone what your second book is and what that's
Well,
about?
well, it's a series of book. My projects are doing a series of book of co-parenting and harmony, and the second one is co-parenting and harmony: the ripple effect on the entire extended family. So, what this book
Wow.
is, it's also an anthology book. It's also positive stories of other people succeeding in their co-parenting and harmony, that they're able to talk to their ex and they're able to raise their child together. Because this first book is also an anthology book. I also have stories from all people, normal people like you and me, who are living co-parenting and co-parenting, and who are expressing how from chaos to harmony, how they got to that step. So this second book is also the same thing. It's compelling stories of other people, of coaches. I have all kinds of people, doctors, psychologists, and again, other people like you and me who are living co-parenting and who are explaining how they got to a better place. And also my in-depth story of
Yes.
how I became to write about co-parenting and harmony and my situation and how I looked at things as a stepmom, because I'm also a stepmom. I have a bonus son. I had him since the age of 3 years old, and today he's 34 years old, and he's also a stepdad and also
Wow.
a bio dad, and how they are thriving in their co-parenting situation. I'm so proud of him, so proud of him.
That's so
And
beautiful.
so this book is also about the entire family, because when you're co-parenting in harmony, it not only affects the child, but it affects the ex-spouse, the ex-in-laws, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, the whole family, the friends. It's your whole environment.
That's true. So tell us more about that ripple effect, because I personally have experienced that. Tell us how it does affect the ripple. The ripple effect is affected by people who are co-parenting, in harmony, or those who aren't. What can an extended family member do, if anything, to make the situation better? Do you have any advice on that?
Well, it's about accepting differences. It's about accepting differences. It's about, listen, it didn't work out. It didn't work out with the spouse. And, I know it's very hurtful. And I know you're still living with, because this could be the love of your life, probably was the love of your life, and you're very disappointed and you've been treated unfairly or unjustly. We get that. I get it. But, you got to move on. It has nothing to do with the grandparents. It has nothing to do with the aunt and the uncle. It has nothing to do with the extended family. Why do you deprive your child from seeing his uncle or his aunt or the grandparents? We shouldn't deprive our children from that, because they love their grandparents. They love to see their aunts and uncles.
Right.
So why should we deprive them from that? It's okay. And your new partner also must understand that there was a history of the family, of the extended family, and it's okay that the child could love freely his new extended family and his previous family, and we should let them. We shouldn't feel infuriated by that. It's okay. Right. Because children thrive when they know that they're loved not only by mommy and daddy, but they thrive knowing that all their family love them and care for them. And then they can share all kinds of moments. And everybody in the family, or some people, could be beautiful models for our children as well. Not only us as parents, but also the others within the family could be beautiful role models for our children.
That's so beautiful. You told me before how you've gone to family occasions where there's the biological mom and you're the stepmom. So tell us a little bit about how that works. How do you deal with, if there's anger in the past, how do you deal with releasing angers?
Well, it's only, for sure, there's I went on a beach vacations with my bonus son's mom and her extended family, and all the ex-in-laws were there too. My husband, ex-mother-in-law was there as well, and his ex-sister-in-law as well with her husband. And so prior to the trip, we sat together, us four, and we set some boundaries, healthy boundaries, that is, just in case, so nobody will feel any rejection. We said, listen, if one day we decide not to sit with you on the beach, it's not because, we don't want to be with you or whatever. It's just that we want our own moments, or things like that, like having breakfast together but not having dinner together. Anyways, it worked out that we were always together.
Wow, that is amazing. That is so fantastic.
We were always together. We had fun. We did. We had fun. And you know what? The past is the past when it becomes to whatever happened between them. It belongs to them. It belongs to the exes. It doesn't belong to me, and it doesn't belong to the children, and it doesn't belong to the ex-mother-in-law or ex-sister-in-law, whatever. It's, what? It's not of my concern. Really, it's not.
That is so wise, Anna. I wish you could just bottle that. What you just said, it's the past is the past and it belongs to them. And what you're saying is you're being very accepting and loving, that you're allowing people to be who they are.
It's all about love, Lynn. It's all about love. So love yourself. If you can love yourself and you know what a good person you are and how good you are, then you can you can love everybody else around this. You know what I mean? Well, yes, we have to set boundaries. It's only normal because, you don't want to overstep or whatever, which is only normal. But these are healthy boundaries. They're
Right.
healthy boundaries. So everybody can move on with their lives. Everybody can thrive. And, there's so much chaos out in the world. There's so much going on
Right.
right now in our world. Why do we need to bring this into our families?
Right.
Families is so
Right.
important.
Right. The families can be a sanctuary if we allow that
Yes,
to
it
happen.
is. Yes,
I love
yes.
that.
And if we're willing to do so, and if
Yes.
we're willing to move on, yes.
So, I have to confess to you, Anna, I'm new to this particular format of Be Live TV, and I imagine there are comments that may be happening right now, but I don't know how to see them. So I'm sure that people can be commenting live, and if you are out there listening right now and making comments, please know I'm not ignoring you at all. I typically have had a wonderful friend be my administrative helper, the wingman, Roland Takaoka, who's on Pacific time. I don't know if he's listening right now, but it's a little tricky while interviewing to try to look for comments, and I don't see them just because I'm new to this format. So anyone here who would like to ask questions to Anna or make comments later are welcome to email Anna. I'm going to have you say a little bit more on your website, annagianone.com. And you can also be able to buy her book there, right, Anna?
Correct. You go under the tab that says book, and the link is there as well.
Yeah. I'd like you to, you've given so much great content here, and I'd like you to see if we can summarize what are the most important things that you feel parents need to know when they're co-parenting children. Given what are some of the top things you'd like people to remember? Well,
that's a good question. It's true. I do say a lot, and I do.
It's great.
I'm so passionate about it. Well, to focus on it, to be child-centered. It's all about the child, and really, it's about you moving on. You want to, take a step back and say, what do I want in my life? I do want a better life for myself, and I do want a better life for my children. So it's all about letting go of resentment and bitterness. Let go. Whatever happened. Move on, and just stay child-focused.
Child-focused.
Yeah, just child-centered focus.
Isn't that what you say in your subtitle here? I love this. Focus on what matters. Exactly. And what really matters? Tell us, what matters?
It's all about love. It's about your child. It's about your child, beautiful. And it's about you moving forward with your life as well. Because, we all deserve to have a happy life. We all do. And we're all good people. Deep down inside, we are good people. But the divorce and the separation and all these resentment, it changes who we really are. We're not really the bitter person. We're not really that mean person or that revengeful person. It's not us. We're good people. We're all good people deep down inside. So bring that back up to surface. Bring this love back up to surface. Bring this good people, this good person who you are back up to surface. And make a better life for yourself and for your children as well. So we can all thrive in love and in beauty. And like I am, I'm thriving in my life. I have a beautiful co-parenting life.
Thank you. Oh, you're terrific. And I thank you so much. I'm going to put up your website again. I wish I could figure out, and hopefully I will, and soon, about finding the comments on this comment. But what I do want to say is that what you're talking about is so universal. This is not just a Canadian cause or a United States. This is for all the world to really know. In fact, sometimes because I'm also a musician, different song lyrics just pop up in my head. And I was thinking about the Beatles tune, really profound words, all you need is love,
all you need
and all the songs about love, and people just relate because, as you said, I feel we all have a core, I think, of love inside of us, and we resonate with that. So if we can, as you said, just focus on the love and what really matters, I'm going to put that up there.
And I have a song too. Like Co-Parenting in Harmony, your life will never be the same.
Oh, beautiful.
There's a song out there. I don't remember who wrote it, but your life will never be the same. You will have a beautiful life. Milestones of our children are going to be there, so we all have to be there.
Right.
Children's milestone.
That's beautiful. And co-parent harmony actually is a musical word too. So, right? So we're doing it together. Thank you. So anyway, anyone who would like to find out more about Anna Gianone and her books and learn more how to create a peaceful co-parenting life, I recommend you go to www.annagianone.com. Thank you all for listening, whether you're listening live or for the replay. Anna Gianone, thank you for coming in from Montreal today. I'm so grateful to know you, and we'll have more conversations. All the best to you and everyone out there. Just have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for this opportunity. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.